I think my first venture was at the age of 12 when I organized a summer camp, got the kids who were more younger to me in my building, got all of them together, got them to pay 10 rupees, got my mother to do snacks, build tents with chairs, very jugaad, typical jugaad mindset.
Yes, yes,
And then saved 21 rupees out of that. I also got a partner, so gave 21 to her, got 21 for me. And I still remember one of our neighbors, they were so impressed that they actually came and they gave me a gift. So, like all the certification degrees, all are there. But these smaller things are the ones that, that actually make you believe in yourself so much. Father actually came from Nasik to Pune to just drop me at the hostel. So just for that half an hour to make me sit in an auto and drop my bag to the hostel, he traveled 5 hours. And then he immediately went back to Nasik by the next bus. And I felt so weird. I was like, shit, what have I done? Like, just for this, I made him travel for 5 hours. And after that day, Praful, I never got my parents to Pune. I had to buy my two-wheeler. I went and I spoke to those, store owners myself, which bike to buy, spoke to other people, decided, had to withdraw 50,000 cash. Never had withdrawn so much cash. So I went to the bank, figured out, can I even get that much cash? So, got all of that information. And I still remember I was doing this conversation and there was this guy, who was observing me very closely. And I got a little scared. I have to take that
you
cash and go 2 kilometers to my hostel. What if, he robs me and all? So I actually called up one of my seniors. So we had girls hostel, boys hostel both. I called up one of my seniors from the boys hostel and I said, hey, this is what I have to do. Can you just come and give me security? So Jagrati Yatra, it's a 15-day train journey where you travel across India, 8,000 kilometers. Every day it's a new destination. The main objective of the Yatra is to inspire youth to become entrepreneurs. One learning, that I took back was that whatever it is, always follow your heart. So I did not have the courage before. So that entire courage actually came from listening to those stories. And this was, trust me, it's not worth living if you're not living for your dream. It's
Hi everyone, welcome to I'm a Recruiter podcast. I'm your host and host, Prafula Deori. I'm super excited to have you here with us. I'm a Recruiter is more than just a community. It is a place where we inspire recruiters, talent acquisition professionals, and honestly, anyone who is looking for a little spark of motivation in their life. Here, we are trying to create a real impact, not just in the recruiting world, but also in the society around bringing in guests who are just like you, people who have faced failure, setbacks, doubts, and tough times, and still rose up and found success in their own terms. If you feel we are adding even a small bit of inspiration to your life or someone you know, please show us some love by liking, sharing, commenting, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. So let's keep growing, learning, and making a difference together. Now, let's jump right into today's conversation. We are thrilled to welcome inspiring guest on today's episode of I'm a Recruiter podcast, Shraddha Kalani. From pursuing traditional in chartered accountant to becoming a bold founder chasing purpose, Shraddha's journey is anything but conventional. She is a change maker, a firm believer in solving real world problems through entrepreneurship. Today, she is on a mission to build something meaningful, combining her financial expertise, grassroots insights, and startup grit to make lasting impact. Join as we unpack her fascinating transition, the challenge she embraced, and what fuels her passion to create change from ground up. Trust us, you will leave this episode feeling inspired, energized, and maybe even ready to pivot yourself. So, with this, Shraddha, thank you so much for being our guest, and thank you for sharing your inspiring story. When we connected, I really believe that it can make lots of change, lots of impact in normal everyone's like you. And welcome to
much, Praful, for the warm introduction, for your kind words. It's absolutely an honor to be a part of this community and to get a chance to speak to you. I think you're doing an amazing job. And, last time also when we connected, talking to you was just so easy. And I'm really looking forward to having this conversation. Thank you.
before we deep dive more, right? So, can you quickly tell who Shraddha really is, or what Shraddha currently is doing, so that
Sure.
we can go a little bit back and front, and accordingly we can take it ahead.
Absolutely. Dha is, of course, a chartered accountant by qualification, but by passion, she's a creator. She loves creating, or rather, I would say, converting ideas into reality. Exceptional at execution because that is what thrives her, getting the hands dirty, getting people together on a mission, seeing that change and becoming that catalyst in someone's positive change in life. I think that is something what truly describes Shraddha.
Awesome. Know that you are from chartered accountant background and now trying to change lots of people's life.
Yes.
Can you also take us about to your past? Like what where you were born and brought up, what is your education? We know that you have done chartered accountant, but throughout your journey where you have done your 10, 12, and other things little bit, then probably definitely how were you as a student as well? Because that's very important to ask, because many people think study marks are very important. But when we call our guests, there are many personalities, even though they were kind of average or they were kind of good in their studies, they are still doing better in their life, right? So we wanted to relate those things to the students so that they don't take lots of stress in terms of just keeping their scores high.
Absolutely. Born in Kolkata, joined Marwadi family. We were seven of us. I was the youngest and also a very late born kid to my parents. So as they say that, I'm Mata Vaishno Devi's gift to them. They went over there, they asked for me, and
Okay.
then I came in their lives. So yeah, that's a bit of my background. Extremely family oriented, very emotional as a person. But of course, as you grow in your career, you learn different things. So yeah, but that's majorly about my background. I then relocated to Nasik, Maharashtra. So from West Bengal, a very big change in the kind of culture I was moved into. I see a very good positive change because Maharashtra as a state is very progressive. Career, unlike, it's not differentiated for men, women. They both are given equal opportunities. Not just it's not good to have a career, it's expected. You must have a
Yeah.
career. So a lot of my ambition got driven with the people I was around, batchmates who were, preparing for IITs and JEEs and all of that. I had somehow understood that, boss, I don't understand science. I cannot do it. Maths is still okay, but science is absolutely over my head. And I was okay with it. I actually got about 96%, I think, in my 10th. But I
Wow.
still chose to do commerce. And there were only, I think, two people from my batch of 60 who went and pursued commerce. So I was always very clear with, I was not sort of falling into what others were doing. And of course, parent support becomes a big help in that. So they were quite on board with whatever I wanted. For me, while all of this was happening, there was this one dream that, always kept me going. To watch a lot of TV. I was not the kid who was, into dancing and singing and additional hobbies and all. I think I was a little lazy on that front. I used to watch a lot of TV, of course, because grew up in a joint family. There's one TV and seven people. So you don't really get to watch what you want, right? Cartoon Network and all. Whatever content the adults were consuming at house, I used to sit and watch the same content. So maybe I saw somewhere that, there's this business tycoon who is running a complete office, has a big house, and, it's very respectable. So I somewhere created that vision and that identity for myself that, I am also going to be this business tycoon. I had no idea what a business tycoon meant, what actually needed to be done to be a business tycoon. But I said was, I am a business tycoon. That's it. I still remember, a little funny and embarrassing, but to go to these junior classes for monitoring. I used to, and kids would be like, Didi, please give us autograph. So I would sign ki, yes, Shraddha Kalani, business tycoon. And I would just be very happy with it. And I think I manifested it so much that vision, was so clear in my mind and my head that I eventually ended up doing these smaller ventures. I think my first venture was at the age of 12 when I organized a summer camp, got the kids who were more younger to me in my building, got all of them together, got them to pay 10 rupees, got my mother to do snacks, build tents with chairs, very jugaad, typical jugaad mindset.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
then saved 21 rupees out of that. I also got a partner, so gave 21 to her, got 21 for me. And I still remember one of our neighbors, they were so impressed that they actually came and they gave me a gift. So, like all the certification degrees, all are there, but these smaller things are the ones that, that actually make you believe in yourself so much. And similarly did multiple ventures throughout. Despite completing CA, I majorly worked with founders in their founder office roles. So there's also the shit that we have to do as CA. For 3 years, we have to intern. So it just so happened that, instead of working for a big four, I actually worked for a small firm where my boss was just setting up his practice. So he just started 6 months. So I actually saw him, not, of course, the core skills of accountancy and CA I learned, but I also saw him, expanding his business, how he's building his team, how he's treating people, how he's doing the customer engagement, customer management, right? The clients basically. Learned firsthand from that, and he was my first role model in life. Really looked up to him, the way he built this and managed people. So did all of that, and I think the journey was pretty clear that this is what I want to do. Moved to Pune after 10th, sorry, after 12th, my bachelor's and CA. Moved to a girls' hostel. Like I told you, I was the only child in a joint family, so I was very used to having people around me.
Okay.
So, and you're in this hostel, you have like 100 girls together. I know that all that loneliness which I felt after relocating from
Yeah.
Calcutta to Nasik, I think that was gone. Be friends with all my seniors, all my juniors, my own batchmates, sit on the stairs, gossip throughout the night. I participated in all the extracurricular activities because it was a community run hostel, had another hostels as well, and inter-community hostels were happening. So throughout my journey, one thing, that was very consistent, which now I am able to reflect, that I kept trying out different things. While I did have people around me who were just studying CA. After 2 months, I have my exam, so I'm not going to play Holi. I said, what's the exam is after 2 months? Why would you not go and play Holi with everyone? So I was very clear with that. I was a very social person. A lot of volunteering activities, took up responsibilities in hostel. So the personality part, that development, that was happening. And education wise, I would say I was average. I wasn't extraordinary, but I would ensure that I'm doing my work and I'm sort of, passing my exams and all. But I never let anything deteriorate my overall experience of life. I always keep saying this, to everyone that your first 20 years of your life, you can focus a lot on your core skills, hard skills, education. But honestly, the success of the next 40 years, it depends on these soft skills, the personality that you have, the way you communicate, the way you present yourself. That's all that drives those next 40 years.
Yes.
And God's grace, I got ample opportunities to develop these skills, which actually helped me sail through all the different careers that I took and eventually brought me to start building my own venture, living my dream.
So very impressive. 20 plus is not bad. It's excellent, right? Many people, many students dream to get those kind of marks. So that's a part. Like, what kind of family background you had? Because mostly talk about Marwari, people have business background, and because of that, was it somehow influence your mind to become an entrepreneur, or is it something you have seen? Definitely, that TV serial is one of the facts which impacted you. But was there something else which also impacted?
Sure. So, Prof, of course, I am from a Marwari family. My background was actually very different. My mother was a teacher. So, she used to, in fact, teach in my own school, which was a little funny, but yeah, taught all her life. My father was also working in Kolkata and then he moved back to Nasik to sort of, create something of his own. But honestly, I don't think I got a lot of exposure to business because we were all service class people. My brother is working in Amazon for last 10 years. My brother-in-law, my sister's husband was in a bank. My sister was in a bank. So we were very service oriented family, which was unlike ours. But I don't know, honestly, I think some things are sort of, it's there, probably it's just a God's gift, probably. But I don't think I've brought up in that risk taking environment until a very long time. With my mother, also my mother comes from Bihar. So I also have a lot of what do I say, natural integration
Yes.
because I was born in Kolkata. My mother was from Bihar. My father was from Neemach. And my relatives are spread throughout India. Culturally, my mother was, very clear, ki, oh, you have to go for a government job. You have to try for UPSC and all of that. And in that, sort of standing up and saying, ki, hey, no, I want to do these startup sort of works which are not that safe. I honestly did not have a very clear career trajectory after leaving CA, right? Had it been CA, it's like work in a big four, become a partner, very simple, sorted life. I did CA, then did masters in social entrepreneurship, then did founders office role. So sort of little confused maybe, but just in my eyes, it was just trying to find my passion, my purpose. So I think it's just surroundings, maybe what I consumed. People around me, say my friends, all the mothers were always working. I did not probably see business mindset people.
Yeah.
Everybody was, working and having some career around it. But that was
I think because might be our mom age or time, they are not much exposure to a business mindset or entrepreneurship mindset. Now with the technology in hand, first thing when 4G or 5G came into picture, there was internet everywhere.
yeah.
Once we had the internet, there was lots of videos we were able to consume of different people. So we were able to read different stories, success stories, failure stories as well. I think
Absolutely.
because of those also, it might have changed our thought process.
Yeah, absolutely. Now when I was thinking, I just realized I have always had friends who were elder to me for some reason. And I remember when probably I would be, I think, 5, 6, and my friends were, I think, about 9, 10. Actually, they came up with this entire idea of, doing a summer camp.
Okay.
And I was sort of their assistant at that age.
Okay.
Probably, it sort of came from there because together the 3, 4 of us would keep thinking of these ideas, trying to implement. And then probably I picked it up and, used the media around me to sort of nurture it more. Maybe that could.
Yeah, yeah. So when you were talking about that, right, even I was also recalling, there was very similar incident during your exams are done. You have like 2 months to 3 months, 1 2 months break, right, in
Yeah.
between. So during that time, during New Year time, me and few of the kids, neighbor kids, go and collect money from the neighbor and try to come up with some kind. I think during the Diwali time, right, we play some kind of games where people have to put different prizes and all. They have to pick some cheat and all, and whoever get those cheat, and we feel so good when people come around together. And similar thing, and our time of your current journey or state.
Absolutely. I think it was extremely critical and important for me to move out, which I just realized, after now when I look back at my journey. So, what happens is that, when you're at your place, everything is already set. Your
Yes.
friends are set. Your unit at work is sort of set. You know you have a cook probably who will cook whatever you want. Your parents are always there at every call. You know they'll be there for you. When you move out, it's a completely different environment. You have to start judging people yourself because there's nobody else to make that
Yes.
decision for you, right? Whom do you trust? Whom do you not trust? Of course, there's no special perks. You have to eat whatever is being cooked for everyone. You're able to again restart your journey by making these new friends that are there. So it's basically navigating your complete life just by yourself. I make mistakes. It's not that you don't make mistakes, right? You make mistakes, but you also get the courage to own up those mistakes because there's no hiding. See, there's nobody who's going to come there, right? So there's a lot of courage that you learn, a lot of decision making that you learn, a lot of so there's courage, decision making, independence. So I still remember father, and it's so funny. Okay, so my father actually came from Nasik to Pune to just drop me at the hostel. Okay, so just for that half an hour to make me sit in an auto and drop my back to the hostel, he traveled 5 hours. And then he immediately went back to Nasik by the next bus. And I felt so weird. I was like, shit, what have I done? Like, just for this, I made him travel for 5 hours. And after that day, Praful, I never got my parents to Pune. I had to buy my two-wheeler. I went and I spoke to those store owners myself, did which bike to buy, spoke to other people, decided, had to withdraw 50,000 cash. Never had withdrawn so much cash. So I went to the bank, figured out, can I even get that much cash? So, got all of that information. And I still remember I was doing this conversation and there was this guy, who was observing me very closely. And I got a little scared. I have to take that
You
cash and go 2 kilometers to my hostel. What if, he robs me and all? He actually called up one of my seniors. So we had girls' hostel, boys' hostel, both. I called up one of my seniors from the boys' hostel and I said, hey, this is what I have to do. Can you just come and give me security so that you come on your bike, I'll be on my bike, but just take me to hostel. Those things. And we had to move out of hostel after 3 years, going out, finding the place for accommodation, negotiating with those landlords. So all of these things actually, I learned during my hostel days. And one of the biggest learnings, Praful, was the only child. And, I was this person where, I would want my things to be kept at the same place. Don't use my things. I will do it this way only. You have to adjust to me. Had all of these things, right? And then I also had people who were coming from 20-member, 30-member joint families.
yes.
So the skill of taking everybody together, accommodating, different people's interests, their fears, their aspirations, and getting all of them together on one single page. I think that is what I really learned from my friends. And I'm so grateful for them, to make me this humble version of mine. Now more understanding, more empathetic, which I was not earlier.
Yes, yes.
So yeah.
I totally. So once you stay away from your family, probably you get more exposure to life, more exposure to failures might be, more exposure to challenges, which otherwise your parents will sort of don't even understand कि big problem है.
Huh.
Example which you gave, like 50,000 withdrawn, right? For me, I did similar thing during to take admission in my engineering time. So I need to pay fees. First time I came out of Assam to Dehradun. First time experience in flight. It was scary. First time sitting in flight. मैं पूरा tight पकड़ के हाथ में पूरा पसीना. So it was a tough situation. But again, like those were the learning. Once you learn, you usually adopt to it. And if I need to look back, those are kind of a funny as well as interesting plus learning moment also.
Absolutely, Praful. I think today in life, I'm not scared to do anything new because I've done it already so much in my past life that, when that thought comes, I'm like, okay, Shraddha, you've done this. You'll be able to figure it out. That entire confidence, I think, yeah, the word that we are looking for is confidence.
Yes.
The confidence that you get by, just building your life yourself, making your own decisions, finding your own ways, I think that is unbeaten. It cannot be matched to anything. So definitely.
Question is, you also mentioned about like founders office. So what might be people who are staying in tier two, tier three cities as well or towns as well, right? So for them, they might not know what founders office really means
Sure.
and what as the roles and responsibilities you need to play. So if you can quickly summarize and explain what other different things you have got exposure, what other different things you have done, very peaceful, interesting, what exactly your experience was.
Sure. So founders office roles, it's majorly it started very recently, say in the last 5 years, it's become very popular. So a lot of startups, they open these roles for, say it's also called founders office program manager, it's also called chief of staff. So these are the roles which they typically have for freshers. Say it could be freshers from 0 to 2 years or maybe a little senior, but probably up to 5 to 6 years of work experience. The entire objective of this role is to enable the founder to do more things. So you as a founder's office person would become successful if you're able to free up a lot of bandwidth of the founder. Because as a founder, you're dealing with multiple things, right? All the functions are under you. Plus, you have to do this business development, you have to do PR, you have to look at, people development. Everything is under your bucket, right? So the person comes and takes up a lot of these things from him, becomes the eyes and the ear of the founder in the office, where the person is also becoming the first point of contact for the founder. So because a lot of things really don't need the attention of founder.
Yes.
It can just be solved by a little bit of logical thinking and just bring in a different perspective. So stakeholder management, dealing with different leaders, putting the information in a way that it is more easy to consume and make decisions for the founder, right? So all the very smaller aspects, there's a lot of strategy work that you also do, a lot of execution that comes your way, and you're basically function agnostic. It's not that you'll be only focusing on HR, you'll be only focusing on sales. At some point in time, problem in sales, you have to do a diagnostics program, you have to build an incentive program. So you go, you research about it, then you have to be anything in HR, the ops process needs to be optimized, you need to build SOPs. So it can be anything and everything under the sun, which can come under your bucket. How it helps you? Number one, it helps you a lot with that entire logical thinking. Honestly, I would say it's nothing but logic. If you were the founder of the company, how would you function? That's exactly the logic that you need to put into the picture to become a good founder's office or a chief of staff. That's number one. Number two, you should be able to get information from different people. So that relationship building and that stakeholder management becomes extremely critical. So say if you're not great with communication, I think you'll just learn a lot of communication and relationship. It's all about that. You cannot have all the information. You need the right information from the right people. So building that entire connect becomes extremely important. It's an excellent role for people, pre-MBA sort of, aspirations. Excellent role for also people who want to do their own thing eventually. Also for folks who don't have clarity that, hey, this is the field I want to become an expert into or specialize into. So to get that, exposure and experiment with your own skills and interests, this again becomes very helpful.
That's very interesting way you have and put in a very easy and right way for everyone to understand. For the experience, they might know, figure out, but stakeholder management is very important. How you communicate to your stakeholder is also very important. Definitely, there are lots of projects under the founders, and how you are helping the founder to manage those projects using the project management techniques and all those things.
Absolutely. It can be very overwhelming for a lot of people how dynamically my mind works and the lot of information that I'm consuming, I'm not really able to pass it on every single time. And then it may happen that, okay, today I feel this is right, tomorrow I'll feel that, okay, this is not right. You have to change it. So if you're not able to prioritize, if you're not able to have clear communication and, build that, okay, this is what I'm doing, what do you want, getting that information out becomes extremely important.
So, what kind of challenges you have faced during your time as a founder's office member?
Yeah. Number one, what I said was, the lack of ambiguity. I think I was struggling with it. Then I started thriving in it. So now if you give me something which is too structured and you just have to probably, tweak something here and there, I think I will not enjoy it because I've just grown that way. Number two, I think managing people, it's not very easy. So in this role, what happens is that most of the times you don't have a benchmark. You don't know, okay, this is the right way to do it because you're creating that completely from the scratch. And when you're new in your career, say in your first 3 years of WorkX, you don't have so much confidence in you that you would say, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is right. So getting that validation and having something to refer to becomes extremely critical. Because founders are very busy. They would not have the time to make you sit down and, give you all that information.
Yes.
They want people, who they've given a task and you know how to figure out your way and
Yes.
get it done and present something basically.
Yes.
Believe that, okay, this is right, or maybe how to find out whether this is right, this is wrong, how to get started. I think that was the biggest struggle that I faced when I was starting
Okay.
out.
Ask you one similar question. A founder office member as well, right? So how do you prioritize your things?
Right. So इसमें सबसे पहले you have to first understand that what is the priority as per the founder. So whenever you're getting tasks from them, you have to very clearly ask, hey, I have these 5 tasks on my plate. What do you want me to do first? Because eventually you're working for them. So you have to
Yes.
understand what is it that they have in mind. Okay, that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, when you've got your prioritization, you have to understand what is the impact at work and what is the time it's going to take. Now, say
Okay.
if the work is going to have a very big impact, then of course that deserves more priority from you, right? Say if the work is something which is not that impactful but doesn't take so much time, so might as well just get it done.
Yeah.
So basically, having that prioritization. So number one, getting it from the founder, clarity. Number two, having your own prioritization matrix. Okay, if this is what the ask is with the available time, how much time do I need to allocate for each of these tasks, and with that allocation, what is going to be the impact, and realistically by when I'll be able to finish it or not. That's what really
Just
helps.
just for the audience, right? So like told, right? You have 5 tasks, right? And let's say one of the tasks takes 2 days time,
Yeah,
and other tasks might take 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 or 2 hours, right? So if you prioritize the wrong task, which take 2 hours of your day, the other 4 tasks you might not do as well, right? And which might also impact the founder. Understanding the prioritized list from the founder and as well as the impact plus the time taken. Those are the few things which are definitely important, I would say.
absolutely.
Okay, so you also have mentioned managing people is definitely difficult. Have you experienced something like life?
To share a very, I don't know whether if it's going to be personal or how is it.
No, that's fine. We can do.
Yeah, right, because of course they are of the caliber of the founder. Now your founder expects कि भाई आप उनसे मैं बन के you should always have this thought in your mind कि मैं कैसे कराऊं, मेरे तो इतना कम एक्सपीरियंस है, मैं उन्हें कैसे कमांड करूं कि आप मुझे ये करके दो. आपको प्रॉब्लम इज दैट वी लुक वेरी यंग, right? So one thing is of course that you are young, the other is the appearance of it also, and it matters a lot. Your physical appearance creates a lot of difference. So I'm also looking very young, so now if I go and say in a not so confident voice ki please, can you please get it done for me, do you face any challenge, imagine it's going to be such a chaos, and it's going to be such an embarrassing situation where nothing would be done. So you have to have a very strong personality. Dressing and all, everything needs to resonate with what you're doing, what you're asking for. That confidence also needs to reflect in your voice. But it can be done only with time. It
Yes.
cannot be that on day one, you look 10 years plus your age, you speak confidently. It just happens, and I sort of became okay and sort of started accepting it. Ki I am going to face this challenge where people would think that, okay, she's young, why do I listen to her? And I started realizing, but I'm going to be very affirmative. I'm going to say very assertive. Okay, this is what it is. You please do it. So that's a journey, and it takes time.
Yes. So, like when you thought of doing that, how much time you generally took? Like find someone to guide you with those things, or you started reading different things, saw some video. Okay, definitely when you don't know about those things, you have to have take help from some mentor or coach,
Yeah.
or you have to learn from somewhere. तो आपने कैसे?
हाँ, reflect करती थी. So I was a very introspective person myself. A lot
Okay.
of people, they don't realize कि अच्छा that was always my starting point. I realized कि okay, I'm not okay with the reaction that I'm getting. There's something wrong. It's not enabling me to do my job. So I need to find a solution to it. So then I started in one of my works, which was at Havana. My boss herself, Anjali Bansal, she only helped me navigate this path. She only used to say, ki, Shraddha, if I'm pushing you back, you have to come and tell me if you don't solve this problem right now, it's going to delay the timelines. So can you please answer it right now? So she
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
the one who would, teach me that answer back, ask them to hold on, don't let people run over you. So I got some bit of guidance from her, which would, so not necessarily in the same organization I used it. Maybe I moved to the other organization and then I used those, learnings that I had. In the other organization, I had people in my family who were doing also well. Like I said, they were in jobs and all. So sometimes I would reach out to them, ki, hey, this is a challenge that I'm facing. What do I do? Then eventually I also started realizing that the leader, the founder needs to position you in a certain way to the team so that they
Yes.
don't run over you, they don't take you cash for granted. So then eventually I started asking them, ki, hey, I need your support in telling them that they need to listen to me. This is the work they need to do. Can you please position me like that?
Yeah.
Then I started learning this, and I started asking for it eventually.
Great, great. Good to know for sharing, Siddha. So moving to the next question. Again, I was going through your LinkedIn post and I saw a very interesting post where you talk about Atra. So you mentioned that you were quite happy when you started at Atra and like compared to you when you cleared your CA, you were doing some kind of comparison, right? So can you talk what exactly that Yatra means and why it have made you felt so special, plus you were so happy at the time?
Sure. So Jagrati Yatra, it's a 15-day train journey where you travel across India, 8,000 kilometers. Every day it's a new destination. The main objective of the Yatra is to inspire youth to become entrepreneurs, to be job creators instead of job seekers. Because currently, the average age of India is 28. So here, if we don't have more jobs being created, it's going to be a huge mess
Yes.
in unemployment. So the founder's vision, Mr. Shashank Mani, was that, how do we get the youths themselves to create more employment? So that's the overall idea. So you travel every day, you meet role models, business role models, social role models who have done some grassroots level innovation, root level change, and have built an organization. So you learn from them. There are about 500 people on the train who come from very diverse backgrounds, very diverse work experiences you would have never known, you would have never heard. So you get a lot of exposure. And at that point in time, the peer learning that happens. So one is of course the program part of it, which is majorly planned. The other is the organic way of just learning from, say if Praful is there, I'm meeting Praful, understanding his journey from Assam to coming in Bangalore, heading recruitment. So those journeys, those personal stories add a lot of value. And there is so much network collaboration that just happens in that yatra. There are multiple folks who have found their co-founders, started their businesses, went to Shark Tank, raised funding, who have come from yatra. So the network, like you have the wildest of the thought or the farthest of the thought to become an entrepreneur at some point in your life, this is a network you cannot miss. Yeah. I think about my personal experience. So I very randomly once bumped into one of my school seniors, and he had just returned from the yatra. Shared his experience about, the entire yatra, and I was so amazed just by listening to it. And I was like, boss, मैं भी जाऊंगी एक दिन, मुझे भी जाना है. And then he said, you're a student, you have to build your profile, and you have to have some elements of entrepreneurship, leadership that you have done and all. And I was, I think, in my second year of college that time. I said, ठीक है, मैं जाऊंगी जरूर. And remember that was in 2000, built my profile actually and got selected. For me, it was, and then when I eventually went there, I was just 21-year-old. I had given my CA finals, but like I said, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I was keen to see what's going to be exposed to me, right? What is that world that I've not seen? And with a lot of open mind, I went there, had all of these experiences, different people, made friends for a lifetime. Never knew of courses that were there, Teach for India, the social entrepreneurship at TIS. I never knew Tata Institute existed at that point in time. So got really exposed. And the stories that I would listen to and, hear of what people are doing. One learning, that I took back was that whatever it is, always follow your heart. So I did not have the courage before. So that entire courage actually came from listening to those stories. And this was 10 years back. I became a very active volunteer in the entire network because I really wanted that family to be together, right? Any meetup that we go to, you do that Yatri Geet, which is a Yatra song, and you dance to it. And रोंगटे खड़े हो जाते हैं जब भी जाओगे आपके रोंगटे खड़े हो जाएंगे उस एनवायरनमेंट में बिकॉज जो एनर्जी आपको मिलती है थिंक एनीथिंग कैन एक्सप्लेन इट until you've seen that energy. Yes. I traveled across cities. I transitioned, moved to different cities, moved different careers. So I always had my mentors from this network. I go to any city, I would never have to have a hotel because I know I have people from Yatra who would be happy to host me. Same, I'm a very big host to whoever comes from the Yatra. So all of this community feeling and everything has always been there in Yatra. And the last stint, what I had, which was where I was heading the program, I never thought I'll go back to Yatra, and I went after 9 years. And while I was curating the entire experience, again, another thing. So once I took back the follow your heart thing, this time I took back that I, as a person, I really enjoy meeting new people. I love discovering their stories and, sort of acting a catalyst in any way possible, building those new connections. And that is what exactly Live in My Dream helps me to do. And so the conviction with which I started working on Live in My Dream after I came back from Yatra, which is this Jan, was extremely different than what I had started and I had quit my job. So extremely grateful for that, entire network and that entire concept for being there in my life.
Yes, yes, really impressive. जब आप बोल रहे थे कि रोंगटे खड़े हो जाते, how did you change those things?
Right, yeah, right. तो प्रफुल्ल चीज जो मैंने हमेशा अपनी लाइफ में करी है कि मैंने एक्सपेरिमेंट बहुत जो अच्छा लगा बिना सोचे समझे इतना दिमाग नहीं लगाया और आप बोल सकते हैं कि शायद मुझे इतना दिमाग नहीं था पहले बट शायद मेरे लिए वो एक ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज हो गया. आई वाज नेवर अ वेरी क्यूरियस किड. आई वुड ऑलवेज बी कि ठीक है ये लग रही थी कर लेते हैं वो जो हम बोलते हैं ना कि खाल उधेड़ना वो मैं जानती नहीं थी तो मैं ऐसे ही चली जाती थी. हैव टू गो आउट एंड गेट योर हैंड्स डर्टी एंड एक्सपेरिमेंट. The risk that you take with this experiment is completely yours. I'm not saying that you leave everything and go out and, sort of experiment. You do it in a calculative way, no? You take little more efforts on the side, take more efforts on the weekend, try to start it small. See, whether it's really giving you joy and is it worth leaving behind what you've built so far or not. And then you transition into it. But at least don't live in regret in life, right? So one thing what I have a very strong value of, right? कि मैं regret. I want to live a very content life, a very fulfilling life. कि ठीक है, जो भी मैं- So if you have some, number one, discover that value for yourself. That's, I think, the most important thing. So discover that value and basis that, try to take smaller risks, small experiments and figure out, because trust me, it's not worth living if you're not living for your dream.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Yes. जो मुझे founders have similar kind of mindset or like of the
Thank you.
अभी जैसे you are building your company called Living My Dream. So what exactly it is and ये किसको benefit हो सकता है and क्यों क्या?
Sure. So, right, which is not worth it. So, from this entire idea and also inspires the name that we have, Live in My Dream. Our purpose started with that: how do we create a platform that actually offers anything and everything for women to be able to pursue their dreams. And this we've started with 3 offerings. Number one, we do mentorship. So say if someone wants to pursue a career in a Facebook or a fag sort of company, Facebook, Amazon, Google. So we help them connect to the right mentors, get that coaching. If you want to transition from a CA to a different, personal branding sort of a career, we help in those transitions as well. We do job search strategies. A lot of times women don't really actively pursue, try to find the career, the office, the role. That's something that motivates them. It's
Yes.
majorly ठीक है जो available है दे दो मैं कर लूंगी, right? So how do you find job? So we help a lot with that strategy. We do power skills upskilling. So soft skills rebranded to power skills. Soft skills power skills बोलने लग गए उन्हें. So here we focus on 5 power skills. When you know them, I think there's nothing that's going to stop you. Any hurdle that you face in career, you'll be able to navigate. Those 5 skills, number one is self-awareness. Number two, confidence. Extremely critical, but so less spoken about. Communication, personal branding, and networking and relationship building. So we have our workshops on these live workshops in smaller groups so that you actually engage, you're able to bring out your story. And so that's the overall idea.
Really impressive. I think काफी सारी चीज एक साथ है, but I think रियल पर्सनल एग्जांपल से बात कर सकता हूँ. बहुत टाइम जैसे आपके फैमिली में नॉट एबल टू गिव टाइम टू आवर किड,
Yeah.
and because of that बहुत टाइम ना मैं भी, so let's say if I want my wife to be a part of your program, can I register on her behalf for you?
Yes, absolutely, Praful. You should definitely register her. One thing what happens is, Praful, women's life, there are these major life changes, right? Usually marriage leads to a relocation, very different culture,
Yes.
you have to get adjusted to. And second is the baby, which again leads to a very important change in life. I usually work with the more, younger women, say between the age of 22 to sort of 30ish. Really important for them to actually understand their personality, aspirations, their vision for themselves. So they go through these life changes. So that entire part actually gets missing, and it's honestly it's a little difficult to get back. When you've not had it in the past and you've been through these life cycles. Hence, I've started a little young for women, who have that potential in them and just need a little bit of push. I think what you're talking about, Niharika, is that push. So in that, it will be extremely critical for her to rediscover herself, to find that young 22 Niharika who had those aspirations, who had those dreams, and then figure out, that, okay, how can I go back to those dreams? Because a kid is going to grow up, is going to get busy in their life. Right? This is going to be probably next 3-4 years, 5 years. तो अब उसके बाद क्या करोगे? And it's very difficult to go back जितना time होगा. So we have to basically reconnect her to her own, herself, help her discover herself. And then from there, when she'll know her why, तब वो effort वो job search में जाएगा. That's number one. Number two, I think the peers also become very important. में move कर रहे हैं. अगर आप एक ऐसे circle में हैं जहाँ पे every mom has quit their job and it's very normal कि आपको भाई बच्चा हो गया तो आपको घर पे ही रहना है, then again it becomes very difficult. So it's very important to be conscious of who your peers are and also take inspiration from other women who are having it all, right? So when you start hanging out with them, you'll feel, okay, probably it's not that difficult. It's not, that big a deal and that to be there. I mean, a lot of people are doing it. I can also do it. It's two things. So in fact, I actually forgot mentioning, we also build a very active community where we have these weekly challenges, affirmations, reflections on, goals, goal setting. We have a book club. So a lot of things also we do so that, you stay connected to your individual self. Things that give, and you also find like-minded people doing it. That's the idea.
एग्री. मैं अगर इससे बाहर आना चाहती हूँ, वो लोग तो सेम ही करते हैं, उनका लाइफ में क्या अलग है?
हाँ, आप आउटलायर नहीं बनना चाहेंगे, आप में वो
Yes.
करेज नहीं होगा.
Inspiration लेके आए, they're changing your lots of life and impacting them to grow in the career. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Kapil. All thanks to you. I think you just make it so seamless to talk and open up. You're amazing at what you do. So kudos to that.
Shraddha. And for our audience, definitely currently available 8 things which can change lots of people's lives. For example, right, every family, there is a girl, there is a woman, there is a sister, right? Everyone has to go through their own journey, right? And if you want someone to reach out to Shraddha, please feel free to connect with her. She is very friendly, which you have seen during the discussion as well, how she was committed to her work and what kind of things she's trying to do. So with this, thank you, Shraddha, for more fruitful discussion. And once again, I really enjoyed our discussion, Shraddha.
Thank you so much. It was really lovely speaking to you and stay connected and hope we can do much more things. And all the best with the community that you're growing on the Recruiter space. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you.